ब्रह्मनाथ ओ शांति 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 स्वस्थ।
Hello students, in the previous class we discussed about the various steps of the recombinant DNA technology. It is an important long question, 7-mark long question, okay. So we discussed 8 major steps. First, what we discussed? Isolation of the DNA fragments, then cutting of the DNA fragment, then we can say the gel electrophoresis, then the blotting technique, then we discussed our next step, that is your recombinant formation of the recombinant DNA, then the introduction of the recombinant DNA into the host, okay. Next, the obtaining of the foreign gene product, and finally the processing by which we can send the product into the market, or we can say the purified product that we obtain will send it to the market. So this is all about, we can say, the steps of the recombinant DNA technology, which is one of your important long question. Today we'll discuss our new topic, that is your gene cloning, okay. So what do you mean by the gene cloning? Gene cloning means, we can simply we can say it is a process in which we can make identical copies of DNA or gene, okay. So if we'll go by the gene cloning definition, then the process by which we can make identical copies of DNA or gene, that is known as your gene cloning. The process by which we can make identical copies of DNA, or we can say gene, okay, is known as your gene cloning. So gene cloning, okay. Means it is a process in which we can make identical copies of the DNA or the gene, is known as simply gene cloning. It may be from the extracted DNA. If means what? First we will extract the desired DNA. After that we will make the cloning, so that from one DNA or gene we can make millions of copies of DNA or gene. Here also we can add copies of DNA from the extracted DNA also you can add, okay. You can also add here one point. From the extracted DNA is known as gene cloning, okay. Gene cloning is further divided into two types: host cell based gene cloning and the polymerase chain reaction. This gene cloning is further divided into two types: polymerase chain reaction, or simply we say it as a PCR, or we can also say it host cell based gene cloning. Simple, okay. Means these are the two techniques by which we can mix the millions numbers of or more than that of identical DNA or gene. First we'll discuss the very important short notes that is your polymerase chain reaction. Okay. So first point, the polymerase chain reaction was first discovered by the Carey B. Mullis in the year 1983. So your first point is PCR was discovered by Carey B. Mullis, okay, in the year 1983. Here we can say here we make the identical copies, or we can say here we make the cloning of the genes without using any vector rather than we are using through various chemical reaction. Here we make cloning we make cloning of genes without using any vector. Here we are not using any type of vector, rather it is done using, or we can say rather it is done through chemical reactions, through chemical reactions. Okay. PCR is a, we can say, thermal cycling program. Means what? Thermal means what? As in this process, both heating and cooling is being involved in this procedure, so it is also known as your thermal cycling program. PCR is a thermal cycling, means heating and cooling both takes place. Cooling takes place. That is why it is called thermal cycling program. Cycling program. Okay. Next, what are the various requirements as a raw material from which we can extract the millions number of DNA? First, obviously, the extracted DNA template. Obviously, we need that. From that, we will means form the millions of the or produce millions number of identical copies. Next is your primer. The primer is being prepared in the laboratory, by which we can having around 10 to 18 nucleotide length, by which we can convert the single stranded DNA into double stranded. Okay. And lastly, we can say so firstly is your, we can say, requirement is your DNA template. Second one is your, we can say, the primer having 10 to 18 nucleotide length. Third one is your, we can say, thermostable DNA polymerase enzyme or TAC DNA polymerase enzyme. Thermostable DNA polymerase enzyme, or we can say TAC DNA polymerase, okay, which is extracted from the bacterium having the scientific name Thermus aquaticus. Thermus aquaticus. Okay. So now, what are the various steps that are involved under the PCR? First one is your, we can say, the denaturation. Denaturation, in which the double stranded DNA will be break down into single stranded DNA. Next is your primary annealing, in which we can say, we'll discuss that in primary annealing that the single stranded will form the double stranded. Okay. Lastly, the means the primer will be added. In the primary annealing, a primer will be added by which the nucleotide sequences will be formed slowly, means in the initiation of the double stranded DNA, and it is always attached to the 3' end. Okay. So that we will discuss in detail. That various steps are, first one is your denaturation and last one is your extension. Second one is your primary annealing. Third one is your extension, or we can say polymerization. Okay. So the gene cloning means what we discussed. It is a definition in which we can say it is a process in which millions of, we can say, the identical copies can be formed, okay, from the extracted DNA. Next, it is of two types: polymerase chain reaction, or the PCR, or the host cell based gene cloning. Next, polymerase chain reaction, it was first discovered by Carey B. Mullis in the year 1983. What happens here? Here we make cloning of the genes without using any vectors. Okay, rather it is done through various chemical reaction, means heating effect, cooling effect. That is why it is also known as, we can say, it is a thermal cycling program in which heating, cooling both takes place. What are the various requirements? First, the DNA template which is being extracted. Next, the primer having 10 to 18 nucleotide length, it is being prepared in the laboratory. It is being prepared in laboratory. For reference I am writing here, okay, it is not required only, okay, but reference I am writing, DNA template is being extracted and the primer, that is from 10 to 18 nucleotide, is prepared in the laboratory. Next, the thermostable DNA polymerase enzyme, means the take DNA polymerase enzyme which is extracted from the bacterium that is having scientific name Thermus aquaticus. Next, what are the various steps? First one is your denaturation, second one is your primary annealing, and third one is your extension or the polymerization. Okay, so this is all about your, means what is the basic, what is gene cloning, how many types are there, and what is the basic introduction portion of the polymerase chain reaction. Okay, please note down. Next, we will discuss the various steps of the PCR, or the, we can say, the polymerase chain reaction. So we know there are three steps. First, the denaturation. Okay. Second one is your the primary annealing, in which the primer will be added, and third one is your extension or the polymerization. Okay. So first one is your, we can say, the denaturation. So first, what happens? Suppose this is your extracted DNA or the extracted double stranded DNA or the target DNA. So first heat is applied. So first heat is applied to target DNA. Target double stranded DNA. Target double stranded DNA at temperature 94 to 96 degrees centigrade for 1 minute. Okay, then what happens? The double stranded DNA is being denatured into single stranded DNA. Double stranded DNA is denatured into single stranded DNA. Simple. This much is your nothing but denaturation. Denaturation. Okay. Next. In the next step, in the single stranded DNA, okay, the temperature is being lowered up to 456 degrees centigrade up to 1.5 minutes, and two primer are being attached on the 3' end. See, here the primer is attached on the 3' end, and here the primer is attached at the 3' end. This step is known as a primary annealing. So we can write in the next step, two primers are attached to the 3' end of the single stranded DNA and the temperature is being lowered up to 56 degrees centigrade, and the temperature is lowered up to 56 degrees centigrade for 1.5 minutes. Okay, this much is your, we can say, the primary annealing. Primary annealing. Simple. Next, the temperature is being increased up to 72 degrees centigrade for 1.5 minutes. Next, the temperature is increased up to 72 degrees centigrade for 1.5 minutes. Okay, and also what we'll add? We'll add the Taq polymerase, Taq DNA polymerase enzyme, Taq polymerase. Okay, and also now we'll add the deoxynucleotide triphosphate or the DNTPs. Add deoxynucleotide triphosphate, or we can say DNTP. Okay, in the presence of magnesium ions. Okay, now what happens? The extension or the polymerization occurs. Now the extension, or we can say the polymerization occurs. Okay, and after that the cycle, the cycle goes on. Okay, means here at the starting there is one double stranded DNA, from which at the end of the process we find two double stranded DNA. Okay, then it will further divide from the two, further it will divide and go. Like this we will get millions of copies. Okay, so what happened? Firstly, heat is applied to the target DNA. I will go to another time diagram, don't worry. Heat is applied to the target DNA, which is double stranded. Okay, temperature is around 94 to 96 degrees centigrade. High temperature. One point you should remember, why Taq polymerase enzyme? Because polymerase enzyme is used because in the process high temperature is also present, means 94 to 96 degrees centigrade, means at that time only this DNA polymerase can survive, or we can say this polymerase is able to survive throughout the process. Okay, maybe it low or maybe it high. So that is why it is being taken. So next, for how much time? For 1 minute, by which the double stranded DNA will be denatured into single stranded. This is up to your denaturation. Simple. Then we can say the primary annealing. This one is up to your extension. Okay, extension. So now what happens? two primers are being attached. Two primers are being attached to the 3' end. Okay, to the 3' end, by which of the single stranded DNA, and the temperature is being lowered up to 56 degrees centigrade for 1.5 minutes. Okay, so up to this is your primary annealing. Next is your extension. Now the temperature increase up to 72 degrees centigrade for 1.5 minutes. Now what the enzymes are being used? The Taq polymerase DNA polymerase enzyme used, as it is sustained to, as it is able to sustain throughout the reaction. Then also the deoxynucleotide triphosphate is also used. Deoxynucleotide triphosphate, or the DNTPS. Next, after that, in the presence of the magnesium ions, by which the extension always takes place, always remember, the extension always takes place from 5' to 3' end. The extension always takes place from the 5' end to 3' end. Okay, so this is known as the extension or the polymerization. So from the one double-stranded DNA, we find at last two double-stranded DNA. Then another time this cycle will go and the process will further continue from 2, 4, 4 to 8, 8 to 16, 16 to 32, 32, 64, and goes on up to millions of copies of DNA we can extract. Now come to easily your diagram. See, first simply this is your double-stranded DNA. Okay, double-stranded DNA that is being extracted. Next, one double-stranded DNA. Then it is the process of goes through the process of denaturation, in which the temperature is being given up to 94 degree to 96 degrees centigrade. Okay, up to 1 minute. Okay, by which it will denatured into single-stranded DNA. Now it is two single-stranded DNA, and in this temperature is being lowered up to 56 degrees centigrade for 1.5 minutes. Okay, second step is your primary annealing, in which two primer are being attached. Obviously, always the primer will be attached at the 3' end. Okay, so this one is your primer that is being attached. Primer is being attached and the temperature is being lowered up to 56 degrees centigrade for 1.5 minutes. Okay, up to this is your primary annealing. Next is your extension or the polymerization. This primer will help to extend to make the double-stranded DNA. Okay, so the extension will always takes place from the 5' end to 3' end. Okay, so and in the extension or the polymerization, the temperature is next will increase the temperature up to 72 degrees centigrade for 1.5 minutes. What will add? Taq DNA polymerase enzyme, as it is an enzyme, it can sustain throughout the reaction. We'll also add the deoxynucleotide triphosphate or the DNTPS. Okay, by which the extension always takes place from the 5' end to 3' end, from the 5' end to 3' end. And finally, we'll get from one double-stranded DNA to up to, we can say, two double-stranded DNA. Okay, so we can finally get from before, at the time of the starting of the experiment, we are having one double-stranded DNA. Now we are having two double-stranded DNA. Okay, so further it will further divide. This will further more to, this will further more to, and this cycle will also go. Okay, by which from these two some more will occurs form, from these two or more will forms. Okay, and the cycle goes on. Like this, millions of copies of DNA are being formed. Okay, so this is one of your important short notes in which you have to write all the steps and also you have to include this diagram. Okay, so understood what is the various steps of the polymerase chain reaction, in which we includes 3 steps: denaturation, then the we can say second step is your primary annealing, and third one is your we can say the extension or the polymerization. Okay, please note down. Now we'll see our second one, that is your host cell based cloning. First we'll discuss the PCR or the polymerase chain reaction. Now we'll discuss the host cell based cloning. So transformation means, what is do you know about transformation? Transformation means it is the process in which the host cell receives the necked DNA. It is the process in which the host cell receives the necked DNA. Okay, next point. Are all the, we can say, the host cells, your plants such as your E. coli plant cell or the animal cell, are, we can say, competent for the recombinant DNA technology? No. All the host cells are not naturally competent. We have to make them competent. How we'll make them competent? First one we'll write all the host cell, or we can say the eukaryotic cells, basically cells are not naturally competent. Instead, we have to make them competent. Instead have to be made competent so that they can be used in the rDNA technology. So that they can be used in the rDNA technology, or simply recombinant DNA technology. So what we'll do in this, we'll use the ice solution of the calcium chloride. Okay, or we can say, first what we'll do, the bacterial cell is being suspended into ice solution of calcium chloride. Okay, first the bacterial cells are being suspended into ice solution of the calcium chloride. Next, the heat shock is being provided. Okay, after the heat shock is being provided, further again it is being transferred into ice. Again transferred into ice. Now the bacterial cell are being competent. Now the bacterial cell are being competent so that they can be used in the rDNA technology. So that they can be used in the rDNA technology. Simple. Okay, so this is our first one, that is your transformation in which the host cell receives the naked DNA, but all the host cells are not competent. Okay, because if you remember, we discussed in the tools of the biotechnology, the last one is your competent host. Means the host should be competent so that it should receive the naked DNA, or that can be used in the rDNA technology. So the main transformation means it is the process in which the host cell receives the naked DNA, and all the host cells or the eukaryotic cells, general plant cells or the animal cells are not naturally competent. Instead, we have to make them competent. Okay, so what is done so that they can be used in the rDNA technology? So what we done? First, the bacterial cells are suspended in the ice solution of the calcium chloride. Okay, next heat shock is being provided, and further again it is being transferred into the ice, by which now the host cell become fully competent so that they can be used in the rDNA technology. Okay, this is one of your, we can say, the host cell based gene cloning. Second one is your various alternative method in which no cloning vectors are being used. Suppose this one is your host cell. Okay, and it is being held by a holding micro pipette. Okay, and by help of a injection or a micro injection, directly the transgene or the desired gene is being injected into the nucleus of the host cell. Okay, this one is cytoplasm, this one is a nucleus. So directly the micro injection needle which contains the transgene is being injected into the host cell, and this is known as your transfection. Transfection. What is done in the transfection, which is seen in the micro injection needle? In this, the transgene is being directly injected into the host cell. We can write the transgene is being directly injected into the nucleus of the host cell without using any vector, without using any vector. Means this one is your alternative method, means in which we can say means the cloning vector is required. Directly the microinjection having the desired gene, or we can say the transgene, is being applied into the nucleus of the, we can say, the host cell. Okay, and that is known as a transfection, and it is held by the holding micropipette. Okay, so in this, the microinjection needle having the transgene is being directly injected into the nucleus of the, we can say, the host cell, and that is known as a transfection. Okay, so now we discussed two important methods or process of the host cell based cloning. First we discussed the detail in the transformation, in which the, as we know, all the host cells are now being competent. Competent means it is ready to used in the rDNA technology, but instead we have to make all the bacterial cells that we are required to make them competent, so that they can be used in the rDNA technology. And further we are discussing various alternative method, in which we discuss the microinjection needle, in which we are holding the host cell by the help of the holding micropipette, and the transgene in the microneedle having the transgene is directly being injected into the nucleus of the host cell, and that is nothing but your transfection. Okay, so now we discuss the transformation, and in the alternative method we discuss the microinjection needle. Okay, please note down. Students, just add one more point here. How the bacterial cells become the incompetent from the competent. Means how the bacterial cells now become the competent, because the plasma membrane before, which was impermeable to various the foreign DNA, now after the competent, the outer plasma membrane of the host cell now became to the permeable for the DNA fragment, means the foreign DNA, by which some pore like segments will happen, and the foreign DNA will enter into the bacteria, or we can say enter into the host cell, so that we can say now the host cell became competent. Okay, by which we can use it in the rDNA technology. Simple, just add this much point, or I am also writing how it become competent. The plasma membrane of host cell is now permeable for foreign DNA. Okay, simple. Competent means before the permeable membrane, the plasma membrane was not permeable for the foreign DNA, but now as we have gone through some process in which we include suspended it in the ice solution of the calcium chloride, then heat is provided, further again it is transferred into the ice, by which what happens, the outer membrane of the, or we can say the plasma membrane, become permeable now for the, we can say, the foreign DNA fragment. So the plasma membrane of the host cell is now permeable for the foreign DNA, by which we can enter into the host cell. So now it became competent. Okay, just add this much point. Okay, add this. Next we will discuss two alternative methods of the host cell based, we can say, gene cloning, that is your electroporation and the bioballistic or the particle gun or the gene gun. So in the electroporation case, we are taking the protoplast. Protoplast means what? Plant cell. Simply, if we will remove the cell wall from the plant cell, then that is your protoplast, or we can write plant cell minus cell wall is your protoplast. So what we will do in the case of the protoplast, it is placed in the suitable medium which is containing the foreign DNA. First, it is kept in the environment or the suitable medium where the foreign DNA is being present. Next, a brief pulse of electric voltage current is being passed through the medium. Brief pulses of the voltage electric current is passed through the medium. Okay, by which now temporary opening in the plasma membrane occurs. Now the plasma membrane, some pore like segments are happening. Okay, so that is now we are finding that some temporary opening in the plasma membrane are being found. You should remember that in the transformation we discussed that before it was not competent, but after that when it is introduced in the ice cold calcium chloride solution, then high means the heat is being provided, then another time it is being transferred into the ice, and now it is, before it was or impermeable, now it becomes permeable. Okay, pore is not happening in the transformation case, just simply the impermeability changes to permeable, by which the DNA or the foreign DNA enters. But in this case what happens, the permeable means the permeable membrane, some pore like segments are happening, by which the DNA or the foreign DNA can enter. See, some pore, or we can say the temporary opening in the plasma membrane occurs in this case, okay, by which the foreign DNA or the recombinant plasmid enters. Simply, okay, this is the case of the electroporation. So as we discussed the microinjection needle, now we'll discuss another one, that is we can say the gene gun or the particle gun or the ballistic one. Simply, gun means what? We know that in the guns the bullets are being loaded and it is being fired, and at a very maximum speed it accelerates and enter into the body. Simply, as that simple manner, in that the bullet are being loaded, in this we can say the coated DNA are being loaded, and then it is being accelerated and aimed at the host cell, by which it directly, we can say, entered into the host cell. So what we can say here, basically the DNA having 1.1 to 4 millimeter length, it is being coated by the tungsten or the gold particle. First point. Second, the particle gun, it is the instrument, the gun, it is being used to accelerate. It is being used to accelerate the coated particle at a very high speed, so that it can directly penetrate or enter into the host cell. Next, the coated particle are also known as your microprojectiles, which when bombarded, it penetrates the cell wall and the membrane of the plant cell, or we can say the target cell. So you can see here the instrument, okay, these are the coated DNA, as by the help of the gene gun, it is being accelerated into the, we can say, the target cell, by which the coated DNA get entered or penetrate into the target cells. Okay. So these are your various, we can say, alternative methods of the host cell gene cloning. So today we discussed the gene cloning. Gene cloning means it is the process in which the identical copies of the DNA or the gene are being prepared. It is of two types. We discussed the host cell gene based gene cloning, and the second one is your PCR or the polymerase chain reaction. In the polymerase chain reaction, we discussed 3 steps, okay, that is your, we can say that the first one is your denaturation, then the primary annealing, and last one is your extension or the polymerization. Next, in detail we studied all the steps. Next, we discussed the host cell based gene cloning, in which we discussed first the transformation. Next, we discussed various alternative method, in which we discussed the micro injection needle, and in the second one we discussed the electroporation in the case of the protoplast, and third one we discussed the ballistic or the particle gun, or we can say the gene gun. Okay, so that's all for today. We will meet in our next class. Thank you.